Welcome back to the Scout Show here on FoxSports.com. I'm Christian Anderson, joined by Scott Kennedy, Director of Scouting for Scout.com. We're taking a look at the top 5 in the BCS. The Oklahoma Sooners are right there at 5, and they may need some help to get into a BCS bowl game this year. They finished the season with a monster game against Texas Tech, and then the finale against Oklahoma State. If they went out and they're playing in the Big 12 championship game, do you see a potential national championship game for Oklahoma?
You know, I do. You mentioned that they might need some help, but I think they're in pretty good shape as far as controlling their own destiny. And why is they've got those, like you mentioned, those 2 highly ranked teams left. They're already right there. The coaches, in fact, have already put Oklahoma ahead of Texas, despite the fact that they lost to Texas. Now, if they beat Oklahoma State and then beat Texas Tech, that's 2 more quality opponents. The computers are going to like that. Get a 3rd one against Missouri. If they win those games, I think they're going to be there. Now, how would they be ahead of Texas? I think with those 2 wins, if they were to beat Oklahoma State and Texas Tech, the tiebreaker in the Big 12 South would be the BCS rankings. So if they win those games, I think they hop over Texas, get the nod for the Big 12 championship game. They're playing for a right to play in the Big 12 championship game.
And you like them over Missouri?
I like them over Missouri in that, where I'm not sure I like them as over Texas Tech. Going last week, we talked about the fact that the schedule set up great for Texas early until they had to go on the road against Texas Tech. Texas Tech was able to rebound quick from that big win at Texas because they were at home. Now they get a bye week. Right. They have to go on the road to go against Oklahoma. And that's a tough one. I mean, I said all year, I don't know that anybody can go undefeated out of the Big 12 South. The winner of that game, I think, is playing for the national title.
Again, lose early, you got a chance late to be in the BCS championship game.
What's interesting, if you lose that game, I think you're out of the big BCS period. I think Texas goes to the Fiesta regardless.
Many are picking Florida to get to the BCS championship game. They finished the season with South Carolina, the Citadel, and at Florida State. If everything plays out the way it should, they'll play #1 Alabama in the SEC championship game. Do you have the Gators having the best chance to get to the national championship game?
You know, I do. I do. I think they're the team that's going to be the most heavily favored with one game. That they need to take care of business against South Carolina, and you can't ever make that a given with the Spurrier history there. The Florida State game is a bloodletting in the state of Florida, so those are 2 tough games, which will also help them leapfrog the teams that are ahead of them. If they win out, I think they're in, because they'll play a #1 Alabama team, and I think they're going to be favored in every single game they play. I think they're going to win every single game they play. I think they're not only going to be playing for the national champion, I think they're going to be the BCS champion.
Wow, Scott Kennedy with the upset special.